What's up, everybody? It's me, Keys, back with a brand new video. And today's video is finally here, you guys. The new Goosebumps show is here. Disney Plus and Hulu dropped the first 5 episodes, and so this is gonna be a spoiler heavy review. I'm gonna get deep into it. I have some thoughts, I have some theories concerning the show, and Tori's Tori's joining in too. So he's gonna join us in for this Goosebumps video. Hope you guys enjoy it. So with that said, let's get right into it. Alright, so today Disney Plus and Hulu finally dropped the first 5 episodes. And when I woke up this morning, I woke up around like 6 o'clock or so. I was so excited to watch it. I have Disney Plus. I was ready to watch it. I got on, went to go check it out. They only had episodes 3 and 4 up. So Disney Plus had a little rocky start uh, to the release and everything. Eventually they didn't fix it. It was like that for a while to at least like noonish. I actually went and signed up for a free trial of Hulu just to start watching. Um, so I watched like the first episode on Hulu, and I was watching the second episode. It was about like a quarter of the way through when Disney finally fixed their stuff, right? So I canceled my free trial, just started watching on Disney Plus, and also like I had to watch ads when I was watching on Hulu, so no big deal, but like I wanted to watch it, and just watch it throughout without having to deal with ads and all that nonsense. But my verdict for the show right now for me, it's definitely an 8 out of 10. It's really really good. I love the plot that they're going on right now with the whole mystery of like Harold Biddle and his connections to the parents and like why he wants revenge. I think there's a whole like lot more because in the marketing and stuff, they kind of like I don't believe in the marketing. We've all been saying that he was bullied, but I don't think, if I remember correctly, any of the marketing synopsis for the show mentioned um, directly bullying. But I think we just assume that. Um, but there's more going on with his story and the connection to his parents. And Slappy, I'm gonna get into Slappy in this video because I have some theories around that connected to the whole Harold Biddle thing. But that whole mystery right there, it's really good. Now, the elements of like um the objects that are haunting the characters that are like the Goosebumps monster objects and all that stuff, like the mask, the camera, the worms. Um, Really, those are like more like side stories that like the only connection they have is that these things came from the Biddle house, and that's how like these kids find out about what's going on with their parents, um, which only really seemed to get revealed in like the last episode of this batch. So that's going on and everything, and some there's just a lot of storylines going on with like the parents. There's a lot of relationship drama going on. Some people are not gonna be a fan. This show is not. It's not for. If you go in this show expecting Goosebumps night like '90s style series, no. This is more in the vein of a lot of people I've seen kind of refer to as like the same vein as a show like Riverdale. I didn't really get into Riverdale. I only saw like a couple episodes. I did like what I saw, but I just was watching other stuff and I kind of dropped it. And then I heard it got really crazy. So, but I think they mean like kind of like the tone, like the mystery tone of the show, or something like Nancy Drew on the CW. Was another comparison I saw. Um, Me personally, I'm really enjoying it. Um, there's some episodes that like more. Um, the first 3 episodes were like really good. Um, I really enjoyed. Episode four was kind of mediocre. It wasn't bad. I wasn't super into it, and then like episode 5, really picked up my interest. So we're gonna break down the episodes and kind of get into them. And I may be a little fuzzy on details, but this isn't gonna be my only video on the show. I plan on doing a future video. While I do more episode reviews for the next coming episodes. I think I'm gonna do like a full analysis maybe when the season is over. Just talk about like the build up to the finale and all that. But always break down the episodes. Episode 1, Say Cheese and Die, introduces our characters. Mainly, the main focus was on Isaiah, the football player. Um, just a lot of riding on him. He's got a big game coming up. Um, and of course, that's like a major point, in his story this episode. And he finds out he has to get his grade up, and or he won't be able to play. That leads to a situation with like his best friend, who like they kind of have like a will they won't they kind of thing going on, right? And then she also has that with like another character on the show, like will they won't they, and then that other one gets really complicated. Um, but I'm not gonna get in. I'm not gonna get into that. Let y'all see that for yourselves. Um, and he's just got a lot of pressure. Like Isaiah just has a lot of pressure on him, and they end up throwing like there's this big Halloween party going on that his girlfriend's throwing. There's a troll messing with her, and her parents find out they were going out of town, so she was gonna throw the party at her house. Well, her parents find out, have her cancel it. They're canceling the trip, and so now they gotta find a new venue, which they do at the Biddle House. So they go there, set the party up, and Isaiah finds the camera and everything. They have the party, everything seems fine. He's only taking like 2 pictures as a joke when he first found it, and then like the owner shows up, they run away. His girlfriend gets attacked, and then like the next day he's looking at the 2 pictures he took, and he sees that like one is of her like after she was attacked, and the other one is of his friend um having an allergic reaction, which he didn't take. He didn't take any of those pictures, and then like the thing happens. The future happens, right? And the friend has an allergic reaction to she has a nut allergy, and she ends up biting into like some kind of granola bar, candy bar kind of thing that had nuts in it or something. So he realizes something off about the camera. Um, he goes to tell his best friend. His best friend's like, "That's stupid." Takes a picture of him. It's like, whatever, just leaves. And so he's freaking out about the game because the picture has a broken arm. And one of the characters' mother, played by Rachel Harris, Nora, she kind of has like some kind of like some of the things that they mentioned about her character was that she seemed to be some kind of like Wiccan or something. She was some kind of like sorceress kind of deal. Dude, call what you want, dude. Calm down. Calm down. Um, like some kind of like spiritualist kind of thing that was seems to be going on. But she's not really that. She's not like a medium or anything. But she can see things. She has some kind of connection. Like she's not like when I say she's not a medium, I don't mean like she's not like offering like psychic services and stuff like that. But she definitely does have like abilities to see things. Is what I mean. All right, dude, come on, get down. Okay, dude, calm down. Go lay down. All right. So, um, she starts seeing stuff going on like on the field with Isaiah. He's seeing stuff, and she kind of brings together the group of parents and like this is happening. Biddle's back. We need to do something, and they kind of like they're like, Girl, you crazy. Stop that talk. We're gonna throw you up and take your son away from you. Like, just stop. Yeah, they threatened to take away her son. Um, she's also a widow. She has a very complicated relationship with another character. Um, and it's a very interesting storyline. I'm wondering what what's going. They actually have her like she's the one person that like the kids can kind of talk to because she does try to like get in contact with them. Uh, the other parents, try to stop her. She tries to talk to Isaiah about what's going on, but his dad stops her, and then she does it through like his best friend Margot, right? And they end up like having her locked up. She's just like talking crazy, and like to them she's talking crazy as hell. So, anyways, do you want to go outside? Really, really do right when I'm recording. All right, let's go outside. All right, sorry about that, guys. So jump back into it. So yeah, the one adult that can help them, they throw in a psych ward, right? Um, and so that's going on with that. That's kind of crazy. It's like, what are they gonna do now? Now they do have another adult that came in to help them, and I'm kind of getting ahead of myself. Um, I got ahead of myself when I started talking about Nora. Uh, but yeah, so like episode one, Say Cheese and Die was focused on Isaiah. He you know, the weird thing is like um they don't really find any way to destroy the objects like um the camera, like he does like smash it in one scene like before the big game, and then it shows up like intact, and then it just disappears. There's a scene like the second episode where he goes looking for the camera, and then the English teacher, like he looks in his locker, and there's his helmet, and then the English teacher shows up, and it's like, you know, he's acting all weird. 'Cause of course, like we know, like, if you watch the previous stuff, like Justin Long's character, the English teacher, he gets possessed by Harold Biddle. So this is Harold Biddle, like, posing as the English teacher, and he's like kind of like messing with him, and his whole demeanor, like when Mr. Brad is like, being controlled by Harold Biddle, like when Harold's a ghost, he's very like scary and like he's very like demonic look, and he's going for like a kind of like a Freddy Krueger esque thing, burn face, right, and everything when he's appearing as like a spirit, slash ghost, whatever. Um, yeah, so he's kind of scary when he's like possessing the English teacher, Mr. Brad, played by Justin Long. He's very like awkward, like kind of like you can tell like he's like especially when he interacts with like the adults, it's like a teenager pretend. You can tell it's like a teenager trying to pretend to be adult, and um, it's very it's very silly, but like Justin Long's is great in this. He's doing a fantastic job. I love him. Now, so episode two, the haunted mask. I really enjoyed that episode. I really like what they did with it. Um, a lot of people kind of like was disappointed in the way the mask looked, and there were some theories about the mask like kind of changing and stuff. That does happen, but I'm just gonna let everybody know that it does not change into like if you go in expecting any like kind of like classic stuff. No, it's not going to be there. The mask does not change into the classic green monster mask. Um, this episode is focused on character Isabella, who is kind of like a loner. She doesn't really get noticed in school. She does some work for the school for like the AV club and stuff. Um, but a lot of time is spent online, like trolling people like anonymously, And so the mask basically like kind of turns her into like an actual troll kind of like look with these big like pointy ears. There's no green. It just becomes like just regular flesh color, like the color of her skin. It just matches with right. Um, which was kind of like I was kind of disappointed they didn't do the green thing. I thought they were because um during the beginning of like each episode, right? Like before they show the title sequence, we have like a couple scenes, right? And usually it'll be something shocking will happen, right? And then like you see this like explosion of like ink, right? And it'll be like it'll be like when it happens, it'll be like a different color. It'll be like the ink itself is just black, but there's like some mist that'll be like a different color. If that makes sense, right? And when they did it for the Haunted Mask episode, that mist was green. Something like, oh, they know we getting a green Haunted Mask. That's what it's gonna transform into. And I was expecting a copy of the original. No, it was gonna be somewhat different. But that I just felt like that was like, what? Why would you do that and not have the mask be green? That's kind of disappointing. I still enjoyed it, you know. Honestly, second episode was probably one of my favorite episodes. Um, I'm gonna get back into like how these objects are not really destroyed. Like the camera came back and then it came up missing, right? Um, Isabella, she throws the mask in like a river or something, right? And then Nathan Bratt shows up, right? You know, I always call him Harold Bratt. Harold Bratt shows up, right? Uh, takes, gets the mask back, because we see him with like all these items in like one episode, right? And he's got them all like back in his basement, the camera, the mask, um, the worms, of course the clock is there. Speaking of the clock, they did something really cool with the cuckoo clock, right? So episode 3 is focused on one of Isaiah's other best friends, James. Um, James is gay. He has a crush. He's not really good at being himself. He kind of like when people talk to him, especially his crush. He kind of makes stuff up about him, or like not really make stuff about him, but like say his crush starts talking to him about like football, right? Um, and by football, sorry, I mean soccer. Uh, Excuse me, I don't know why I said football. So starts talking to him about soccer, right? Ask him his favorite team. He comes up with like he's like, oh, I like London United, and his crush is just like, well, there's no team called London United. So he kind of like just tries to be like too likable, right? He's not really being himself. So the whole thing with the cuckoo clock, what happens with that is like in the first episode, um, some of these episodes they kind of like at least the first 3 episodes, everything's connected to the first episode where they find like all the items and stuff, right? Um, he gets knocked the uh into the cuckoo clock and he bangs his head on it. The bird comes out, starts cuckooing, right? All that, right? And then like the show goes on. Episode 1 goes on, episode 2 goes on, episode 3 we finally find out what's going on with him, and basically he winds up in like a time loop at the party. He can't he can't leave. If he tries to leave like the perimeter of the house, he gets shifted back to the point where he knocks his head on the clock. He's just basically stuck like in the house, right? Now, like eventually, like what I'm not gonna go into like how he ends up like getting out and all that, right? Eventually, he does get out, but then it's revealed that all times what happens like when you see him try to leave, he'll try to leave, and it's like he'll be split into two. So you'll see like a James leaving, right? And then the James that we're following, the main James, right? He gets sent back, to when he bangs his head. So when he finally gets out and he gets home and stuff, it's revealed that all the times he tried to leave, made all these evil duplicates of him, and so they basically kidnap him. They throw him in like in a hole in some kind of like mine or something like that, and they just go about like ruining his life, spreading rumors, like kind of like like gossiping, to his girlfriend, like, oh, I saw Isaiah with Margot, like, what's going on with that, like, just like, doing stuff like that, just being total like douchebags, basically. Um, so eventually, they find out, um, how it's come. One of the characters finds out that these James aren't real. Like, if they get like hit like on the head, they like explode into this like yellowish green goo, um, which I thought they were gonna like refer to this goo as like monster blood. I thought that was gonna be the reference. They have not said anything like that. They do call the goo, like they do have a word for it. Um, they call it dupe soup, like duplicate soup, which just sounds really nasty. Um, but yeah, it was a really fun episode. I really enjoyed it. Uh, like the only thing the they don't really focus on the objects too much. I feel like they really only did that with like the camera, was main focus for like the episode. Um, the mask, the mask they could have done like a little more. Um, but it was one of my favorite episodes. But I do feel like they could do a little more. Um, the cuckoo clock really like was only the main part of the episode was them dealing with like the duplicates. Um, because like he pretty much figured out like the cuckoo clock situation like 8 or 10 minutes into the episode, maybe 15 minutes, right? I don't remember, but like it wasn't that long before like he kind of like figured out the cuckoo clock thing and was able to get out of the time loop, and then they had to deal with the duplicates and all that, right? So episode 4, we get into Go Eat Worms. There was a lot going on with this episode. A lot of like um character relationship drama. Where this episode was focused on Lucas, and Lucas finds out something about his mom, and it's connected to like another character and everything. And Lucas' backstory is like his mom's a widow. His dad was like a daredevil, and his dad tried to perform some like death-defying stunt or something. Um, Ended up not working out. He ended up dying. Um, and like Lucas is kind of obsessed with like living up to his reputation. So he's like always doing like dumb stunts, and he finds like some worms at the party. He keeps them and stuff, right? Um, he eats one as he kind of like offered to eat one as a joke, and then it never happened in like the first episode. And in this episode, he's trying to cheer up a character. He's like, "You want to see me eat this worm?" And he's kind of playing with it. And I had to watch it several times because to me, like I don't think he was intending to actually eat the worm. I think he was just joking. But it happened so fast. I think like he's kind of dating the worm up there. It's like, it's nowhere near close to his mouth, and I think it was supposed to be like the worm jumped down his throat, right? Because he's like, he does like that, right? But I don't think he actually like dropped it. I think it was more of a surprise to him. So he does eat a worm, and then like all these worms start like acting on their own, and they crawl out of the tank, they crawl on him, they get inside him, and they basically make him like super indestructible, and he can't feel pain. So then he becomes like he wants to do um the same jump that his dad did, and then um so he just kind of gets crazy in the head, like I can't feel pain, I can do anything, I'm gonna go do this. And then there's his mom, who's Nora, and like his friend Margot, they kind of get him out of it, and like it's revealed there's more about his dad's death that he didn't know. So he learns about that, and then like he can finally like kind of grieve, and that expels the worms out of him, which then they become like they'll coagulate and like turn this giant worm monster and start chasing him and everything, and then uh, they deal with that. His mom ends up in the psych ward, because she decides to tell the truth. Bad idea. Look, if you're being chased by ghosts, worms, haunted masks, haunted cameras, you know, um, don't don't tell the truth. Just don't. It never works out, right? All right. So let's get into the last episode. Last episode was like one of the few episodes that's not a Goosebumps title. Um, reader beware, and this episode was mostly about like it's like a journal. Harold Biddle, he was ready for these characters, these all these kids to learn the truth and everything, right? So he passes along a book to Margot. Now, Margot holds all the all the kids. The parents are connected. Isaiah's dad is connected. Um, James's mom, is connected to this. Lucas's mom, Nora, is connected to it. Isabella, her mom, is connected to it, and then Margot's mom is like connected to it. And Margot's mom seems to be the most important one. They do reveal her like in an early episode. She's not living there. She's living like in Seattle. There hasn't been there for months. So there's some tension between like that, because she hasn't seen her daughter all this time, and her daughter believes that her parents are separated, which, you know, is a storyline that they follow. Um, that kind of gets into some like other stuff, but Margot had like a connection to Harold Biddle. We get some flashbacks of them kind of interacting. They seem to be friends. Um, he kind of freaked her out at one point when they were like in the auditorium, and he was telling her like, I think somebody's after me, I need help. um and she was like, you're scaring me, and then she kind of like ran off. um I don't know if like he had a crush on her or anything. um he probably did. But I think she was dating Isaiah's dad at the time, it seemed like. um but the main thing I want to talk about when this like last episode right now is that it's all led to like the main like what happened that night Harold Bill died. Why did the house catch on fire? Well, we know why the house caught on fire. We saw it. I mean, but like what led to the events? Because the main thing that's been going on through all this is where we get into like some serious talk now. It's Slappy time, y'all. What is going on with Slappy? Is he in these first 5 episodes? You know, short answer, no. But his presence is there. All right. There's really no mention of him in the first episode. It starts in the second episode, and it's really tiny little tidbits. Okay. So the second episode, there's a scene like right after Mr. Bragg gets possessed, right, the night before. He kind of wakes up. He just thinks he's been drinking. He's not like fully been taken over, right? He's having trouble using his arms and stuff, and he's kind of like shaking all right. So he goes to the bathroom, right? And he goes to wash his face. He looks in the mirror, and he just sees Harold Biddle still staring at him, right? So he's freaking out about that, and the only thing Harold says to him is like, help me find him, you know. And it's very obvious that him is Slappy, right? So that at that point, Harold Bill finally takes full control. He kind of starts talking to students and stuff, right? Um, Third episode, we find out after the kids had like kind of like destroyed all the duplicate James, there was one that survived, and he brings a case to Harold, right? And he tells him like, I'm the one that survived. It took us a while, but we found it. So the case obviously is a ventriloquist dummy case, right? Harold's so excited. He's like, "Oh yes, my new friend! I can't wait! Can't wait to get you out here with this case." There's nothing in the case, so Slappy is still missing. He's not in his case and everything. Um, Fourth episode, we see Lucas find like an eyeball, not a human eyeball, but like a dummy eyeball, right? And he kind of starts wearing it as a keychain. He finds it in like his mom's shed and everything. He starts wearing it as a keychain. Um, uh, Harold, as Mr. Brad notices it, he knows it's Slappy's eye. So he realizes that Nora has Slappy, and then he works on like getting him. He just gets the eyeball. Um, but at that point, that's when he kind of reveals Slappy. He's got the eyeball, and he's like, "Don't worry, we'll get you back together soon, Slappy." And so then, like episode five, like we go into episode five, and we find out that like um all these kids' parents, they were sneaking into the Biddle house um to get Slappy. We don't see Slappy, but they go in, they get his case. It's his case that they took. So these parents, they have a connection to Slappy because Nora's mom, she's like he's looking for him. Even Margot's mom, who she we gotta talk about this, you guys. Margot's mom is let me bring it up real quick. Let me bring this up real quick because I don't know her name, but I want to get it right. Alright, okay. So, Margot's mom is played by Lexa Doig. Doig. I'm not sure how to pronounce the last name, but Chucky fans, this month I've been doing like the Chucky reviews and stuff for the new season. Chucky fans, y'all gonna remember her. She played Junior's mom in the first season of Chucky. Bree. Yeah, she's in this show. Um, I think she's a very important character because they didn't announce that she was part of the cast or anything, but it seems like she's a very important character, and her character is connected to the Harold Bill storyline and Slappy. And let's talk about Slappy. What is going on there? Okay, so my theory is that um, it was actually Harold that was like the bully, and he just kind of seemed like a loner. And the only person he didn't really bully or anything was Margot's mom, Sarah, when they were kids, because he liked her. But he bullied her friends, maybe, or just maybe not bully, but like he did something to antagonize them. And I think that was he was using Slappy in some sort of way, or Slappy was using him, and Slappy was antagonizing these kids, but um he belonged to Harold and stuff, and Harold, like Slappy just twisted Harold's mind and something. It sounds crazy, but like um in the end, I believe like it's gonna end up being Slappy that's like the main antagonist in this series, like because it's always Slappy, right? He's the main face of Goosebumps. You know, they tried to keep it quiet, but they couldn't. But we can see his face, like, you know, plastered, like, on the poster and everything. He's obviously, like, gonna be, like, the main threat this season, right? And that's what the leading towards. The the adults that do refer to him seem terrified of him. They wanted to get, I think the whole, like, the whole fire thing was obviously like an accident, right? They didn't mean for Harold to die. They just want to get Slappy. And it just ended up not going great. They got him, but somebody died, but it's something you just have to live with. But now Harold's ghost is back to haunt them. He's looking for Slappy. You know, what does he have planned? How evil is Slappy going to be on this show? Because these adults, like I said, the ones that at least refer to him, um, seem very freaked out and like scared for their kids. Um, but anyways, guys, that's gonna be it for this video. I know I kind of went on and on. I'm gonna rate this 8 out of 10 right now. There's a lot of great stuff. Um, if you go with like a fresh mindset, like okay, you know this is new Goosebumps and everything, you will enjoy it. If you go in expecting 90s style, you know, nostalgia kind of thing, you're gonna be disappointed, but I'm really enjoying it. Okay, I hope if you plan on watching it, I hope you all enjoy it too. Thank you for watching this video. Um, Please drop a like, leave a comment, and I will see you all in the next video.